A stunning number of automation projects belly flop. We're not talking about the budget vanishing, the tool breaking, or the project stalling. The real assassin is sneakier. We try to automate our business in one single swoop, seeing it as one giant beast. The more complex, the more valuable it seems. But automating a messy, broken process as is like paving over a bumpy, pothole dirt road. You get a paved surface, sure, but it's still a terrible ride. Now you just hit the bumps at 70 miles an hour. But the fix is about simplicity. The reality is you succeed by automating one sub-problem at a time. In the next few minutes, you'll get a dead simple 5-step cure. We'll build a rock-solid triage bot in Flowise n8n. No gatekeeping and no fluff. So let's start by dissecting the silent killer nobody talks about. The silent killer is that most teams try to solve everything at once. They crack open Excel, scribble down every single click they've ever suffered through, and email the list to a builder, somebody like me. This isn't a blueprint for automation, it's a treasure map to your own chaos. Or you have a CEO that bundles all of the business problems into one giant heap of oversimplification and tells you, Quentin, automate my business for me. Now you have to figure out what they even mean with automate my business. Organic processes are stuffed with band-aids, special cases, and the usual redirection of just ask Dave. Trying to wire that tangled mess into a workflow is like giving a world-class orchestra sheet music with all the notes in the wrong order. They'll play their instruments perfectly, but the result will be a cacophony, not a symphony. Some reports estimate that as many as 70% of automation projects fail to deliver their expected results. And from my own experience, that number might even be higher. A primary reason is trying to automate a messy, broken process as is. The bottom line is this: if the process is a mess in the real world, it'll be a catastrophe in production. So how do you avoid that catastrophe and pave a smooth road for the start? The answer is a simple cure for complexity I call the frame method. Before I build a single workflow, I run any idea through these 5 questions. First, F stands for framing the business outcome in one single line. You need to ask yourself, what's the one thing we're trying to achieve? Next, R is for ripping out every step that doesn't add real value. Think of this as decluttering a room before you start painting. You have to get rid of the junk first. The A stands for automating the tiniest, most painful slice first. Seriously, just one piece. Then M means measuring the one number that truly matters. This could be minutes saved, errors crushed, leads won, or emails processed. You name it. And finally, E stands for expanding, but only after you see that one metric you defined before move. If you skip a step, you invite the complexity back in. But to put this framework into practice, you need the right tools. Think of your automation stack like a brain. n8n is the digital nervous system for your business. It's the open source Swiss Army knife that connects to hundreds of apps, acting as the arms and legs. Flowise is the decision-making part of the brain, a drag-and-drop AI builder that can read, decide, and act. But for your AI to be truly smart, it needs a memory. That's where a vector database like Quadrant comes in. It acts as the AI's long-term memory, allowing it to understand context and retrieve information. The best part is that all 3 of these tools are open source and self-hostable. If you're technically inclined, you can install all of them via a Docker on a cheap VPS. But if you want a production-ready installation that's up and running in about an hour, you can use a service like alas.io, which also has great support. So let's see exactly how this works with a real-world build, a support ticket triage bot. Here's the backstory. Let's say a SaaS founder friend is drowning in 200 tickets a day. The single biggest problem is that hot leads are getting lost in the noise. Our goal is to solve just that one problem. The first step is to frame the outcome. In this case, we need to get any urgent ticket into Slack in under 2 minutes and archive everything else in Notion. One sentence. Done. The second step is to remove waste. The old circus was Inbox, Trello, Assign, Slack, and then Notion. It was a 5-act play for every single email with excessive handoffs between people and departments. Since we're solving one problem, we simplify the path. We'll remove Trello and the manual assignment step. n8n will be the direct highway from Gmail to where the ticket needs to go. The third step is to build the core workflow in n8n, automating just one piece. The trigger is a new email getting the support label in Gmail. From there, if the subject contains urgent or down, the workflow pings the #urgent alert channel on Slack. If false, it just logs a new row in a Notion database. We can label 3 emails, hit test, and watch n8n sort them in 10 seconds flat. The fourth step is to layer intelligence with Flowise. Our current logic has a small problem. It's like a nightclub doorman who only checks for a password. But down is a sneaky word. To solve this, we add a layer of intelligence with a Flowise agent that acts as a smart smart bouncer, one who can read body language and tone. It reads the email and scores its urgency from 0 to 100. If the score is above 80, it goes to Slack. Otherwise, it goes to Notion. The prompt inside Flowise is simple. You are a helper bot. Rate email urgency 0 to 100 based on keywords and sentiment. Return only the integer. We expose that as a webhook and drop the URL between our trigger and our router. Now an email with "my site is down" rockets to Slack, while "I'm down to try a new plan" slides quietly into Notion. Suddenly, context is king. We've gone from a simple keyword search to actual comprehension. The fifth step is to measure the results. Let's say we run a 24-hour test on this one automation. 187 tickets were sorted and 17 escalations were caught in an average of 1.8 minutes. That saved 3.2 manual hours per day. We didn't automate the broken inbox, we solved one problem and automated the clean version. But once you have a clean automation running, you need to make sure it stays that way. And that's where simple governance comes in. To keep things clean, a second n8n workflow emails the founder a one-page report every Monday. It's the check engine light for our automation, not the entire mechanics manual. If the success rate slips below a certain metric, let's say 97%, we tweak the Flowise prompt. No root access drama, and everything runs in a $6 to $12 Docker container on a cheap VPS. Now, even with a solid framework and a simple setup like this, there are still a few common traps you need to watch out for. Trap number one is the complexity trap. This is where enthusiasm kills progress. You get excited about the technology and try to build a perfect all-in-one system from day one. Don't build a nuclear submarine to cross a pond. A simple raft will do. A working solution for one small problem is infinitely more valuable than a half-finished, over-engineered masterpiece that solves nothing. Ship the solution to your first problem, then add upgrades later if you decide to cross the ocean. Trap number two is ignoring token spend. Flowise uses an AI model like OpenAI, and these models don't think for free. They charge you for tokens, which are tiny pieces of text technically. Every email your bot reads and every decision it makes costs a fraction of a cent. While that sounds cheap, processing hundreds of tickets a day can make costs add up really fast. Set a simple $20 monthly budget, sealing in your OpenAI account. It's a crucial safety net to prevent a surprise $500 bill. Trap number three is forgetting the humans. No automation is infallible. It will eventually face an edge case it wasn't designed for, like a corrupted email or a third-party API going down. Forgetting this reality is how critical tickets get lost in a digital black hole. Keep a break glass manual override, like a special email address that bypasses the bot entirely, just in case the AI ever returns an empty score or fails. This isn't a sign of weak automation, it's a feature of a robust, resilient one. After you've sidestepped these traps and your first solution is officially bulletproof, then you can start to scale without exploding your headcount. The key is to expand by solving just one new problem at a time. This is like building with Legos. You add one small perfect brick at a time, making the whole structure stronger without making it more complicated. For instance, after the bot is running smoothly, you could solve the FAQ problem by auto-answering common questions with a new Flowise chat flow. A few weeks later, you could solve a sales problem by dropping an upsell prompt when customer sentiment is positive. Every single loop repeats the frame method. The workflow logic stays simple because you iterate on small problems. You don't accumulate a giant beast. And that brings us full circle. Remember, most automation fails because we try to pave over a potholed road. Use the frame method to smooth out that road first, one small section at a time. And let n8n act as the plumbing and Flowise be the brain that controls the flow. Start with your smallest, most painful problem, measure like a hawk, and then expand slowly. At this point, you have the framework and a working blueprint. Pick one painful process this week, run it through Frame, and push a single micro automation live by Friday. If you hit a wall, drop a comment. I reply to every single one. And if you want more builds to solve one problem at a time, hit the subscribe button. Stop over-engineering, start simplifying. See you in the next one.